Hey, Conscious Habit listeners. My goal is to help support you on your journey of discovering how to live from your highest and most fulfilled self at home and at work. And in that vein, I have some thoughts I'd like to share with you today. So meditate on this. Meditate on this. Inner worlds and outer worlds. There is a series on Netflix that's actually talks about your inner world and your outer world. And it's a great series if you're curious about digging more into this type of stuff. But we talk about this a lot in kind of different ways on all of the podcast episodes. But I don't know if we've ever talked about it directly. And I thought this would make a great meditate on this episode is to really dig into how our inner world paints our outer world. I really cannot overstate this enough. I think if there is any lesson that people are able to take away and truly live, loudly, it is this curiosity of everything I see in the world began within. It began with my own hardwiring, my subconscious and my unconscious mind. It began with thought systems that don't even necessarily belong to me. Something that's fascinating is that every cell holds a memory and that there is cellular transfer that happens in our DNA. So we could be carrying the cells that are holding some kind of memory in the unconscious mind that could have come from our ancestors. So in previous episodes, when I've talked about how our thoughts don't necessarily mean anything, it could be because they don't even always belong to us. Some of these fears that we carry around, this uncertainty, the rules of how we all need to operate, they have not always come from us, but it is this inner hardwiring that creates how we dance with the world outside. And if we are unhappy with how the world looks to us, we feel like it's not enough, then maybe it's a reflection on the work that we need to do, that our deepest fear is we are not enough. The relationship we have with ourselves is the catalyst for everything we experience outside of us. So if you find yourself not getting your footing, let's say in your career where you're like, just nothing seems to stick. I'm never in work environments where people appreciate me or, they give me the respect I deserve. They are merely the reflection of what your deepest fears are within. So instead of jumping to the next job, hoping it's going to change it, take some pause and say, where do I need to learn how to trust and appreciate myself so deeply that everyone else around me has no other choice but to do the same? This is true in romantic relationships. If it's like, I just can't find a good partner, what lesson lies for you in that external outcome? If it's money, if it's health, you could fill in the blank for anything, friendships, anything. Our outer world is holding some incredible lessons of the healing that is begging to be had inwardly. And this is why I think it's so important, for us to find people who are on a similar journey to us. Because yes, there's plenty of people that, guess what? Their lifetime is they are just going to live life from the outside in. They are thinking life is happening to me and there's nothing I can do about it. And bad things happen to me. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And there are people that is their life. But if you are listening to this podcast, my gut says that ain't you. You are someone who has been called to operate more consciously at work, at home, and in the world at large. And so you are being more mindful of this inner world. One of the greatest lessons that I have gotten, this was through an experience that I had led by a shaman that really gave me this incredible sort of spiritual awakening. And my takeaway was, I've been whole this entire time, and I just forgot. So when I'm experiencing strife outwardly, as we do, it's never going to fully go away. I mean, we're humans. We're going to have the roller coaster of ups and downs and hurt and pain and sorrow and joy and passion. We're going to live all of it because that's what we signed up for. It's pretty incredible to feel just that range of emotions that are in front of us. But when my outer world is in chaos, I have to remind myself that there's nothing I have to do to earn goodness. I just need to remember. And when I ask myself that, if I remembered my wholeness right now, if I remembered that I am fully good and there's nothing I have to do to prove right now, how would I see this situation differently? And most of the time, it gets a whole lot easier. How powerful we are when we manage that inner world and create more beauty in the outer world.